Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am not White Boy 7th Street. I am Mr. Dr. Professor Gamer, or as my fellow YouTuber and best friend, the real Domentora, link in the description, calls me, MrDrProfGamer. Anyway, I'm going to shut up momentarily for this cutscene.
We come into this world with our eyes closed. And most of us choose to live our whole lives that way. We blindly follow anyone who will lead us, giving ourselves over to anything that provides us with a sense of purpose. For me, it was the Marines. I had enlisted 6 months ago with my best friend, Will. Now we were half a world away, being deployed into South Korea. We were brothers in arms. No matter how bad it got, I could always count on him to keep me in line.
Cheer up, Mitchell. Can't be all that bad. It's just finally starting to sink in. Now this is what we signed up for.
Well, the old man was a leatherneck, so I didn't really have much of a choice.
Yeah? I joined up because of the old man, too. More just to get away from him.
I can't get much further away than this.
All right. Listen up. We have our orders. Inserting an LZ Epsilon. Down and dirty just like we taught you. Everybody know what's going on? Everybody know where we're going? Hoorah! Everybody ready? Hoorah! Let's do this! Mitchell, Orange, get out!
Get it done.
North Korea was invading Seoul. We had to push him back. This wasn't just a mission. It was an initiation.
Well, if you cannot tell by now, this is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I managed to pick it up for day 0, and today I am uploading the first campaign mission, Induction, played on Veteran. I'm going to die, you are going to see me die. I'm playing through on Veteran because I always play through on campaign on the hardest difficulty possible. That's just how I do it. You could say I'm a little bit of an achievement hunter that way. Speaking of which, Achievement Hunter is another great channel to check out. I'll put their link in the description as well. Anyway, in today's episode, we're going through the first campaign mission, Induction. I'm going to show you where the intel locations are, and we're just going to have a fun time playing through the campaign. I intend to do every single mission on Veteran, and once I'm done with that, I'm not entirely sure what else I'm going to do on my channel, but I do know that I'm going to continue doing videos. Speaking of doing videos, I don't have a capture device. This is captured exclusively on my PlayStation's built-in recording software. And so during the video, you're going to see parts where the pause menu will pop up for a couple frames. That is because I hit the share button at that moment to save my clip, so I would make sure that I got the entire campaign, because I can only record 15 minutes at a time, and it's kind of annoying having to remember exactly when 15 minutes is, so I just hit the share button whenever I can remember, even if it's only been 4 minutes since the last time I did it, which you'll see in this mission. Anyway, let's move on to the video. This is post-commentary. I'm not so sure I want to try LiveCon just yet. I want to at some point, now's just not that time. Anyway, this game looks beautiful. Sledgehammer Games did an amazing job on it, and it's no surprise they've only worked on the multiplayer in the past 2 Call of Duty titles, and they did a good job there. Even though I didn't really play Ghosts all that much, I admit that Sledgehammer did a good job in the multiplayer. And here I switched over to my pistol. I don't know why, I wanted to try it out. I'm the kind of gamer who likes to use unorthodox weapons in multiplayer. I run around with shotguns. I run around pistols only. I will have a witch class, as people might call it, where I've got lightweight, marathon, and a combat knife. Just run around and stab people. And the introduction of the exosuit into this game is something that, you know, excites me, because the exosuit is a rather new concept to video games. Yes, there's the Mjolnir armor in the Halo series, but that's only given to the elite soldiers, the Spartans. But as Advanced Warfare is showing us right now, every soldier in the Marines, in the PMC that we see later, they all have exosuits. So I like that idea. Like, Advanced Warfare is sci-fi, but it's believable. We are already working on the technology that it's showcasing, and so it's just much, much more believable, because we'll have all of this within the next 50 years, I imagine. Back to talking about the commentary, actually. This is all going to be done in one go. The commentary is a one-go thing. I feel like it gets a better presentation of me, of who I am, and all that. I mean, I'm not trying to go for the just overreaching professionalism that some YouTubers are going for. And I'm not knocking that. You know, they take pride in their work, and that's what they do, but this is kind of how I take pride in my work. I'm, you know, giving me, the authentic me, to my viewers, and that's what I want to do. And like I said, you're gonna see me die, like I did a few seconds ago. I feel really stupid about what's about to happen here, because as you're gonna see, I'm going to start throwing out my threat detector grenades, thinking that they were my actual lethal grenades. And I don't know why I did that, because I was hitting L1, which is, you know, historically your tactical grenade, and R1 is your lethal. But I do like the threat detector grenade, because it shows all the enemies within the area, so you don't have to poke your head out, get shot, and try to figure out where you were shot from in Veteran. The fact that I wasted all of those, though, I do regret at a few points during this mission, because there are times where I could have really used it to know where enemies were. Fiddled around with the hybrid sight there for a few seconds to work it out. And these drones here are actually, I mean, we've seen drones in the past ones, but the drones here remind me very much of the Swarm from Resistance 2, which is another series that I greatly enjoy. And they all work together, and they all attack at the same time, and it's just one big cloud of enemies that can easily overwhelm you. I like this right here, how you have to climb into the turret and destroy the swarm of the drones while your teammates prep an EMP for you, which I'm glad to see that return. The EMP was always a cool concept to me ever since the days of Modern Warfare 2, which is where I really started playing Call of Duty. Anyway, like I said, I'm doing this all in one go, which means I am going to wander off on tangents all the time. I'm going to say random things. And there's a good chance that there's going to be coarser language in my videos. Sorry, Grandma. It's just how I am. I will try to keep from it, but I can't make any promises, because that's just me. That's just who I am. It's part of me. I use coarse language. And, you know, there's YouTubers out there who are very family-friendly. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but there are family-friendly YouTubers out there who probably upload Call of Duty videos. In fact, I think Woody's gamertag is more family-friendly. But, Anyway, I digress. This room here gave me a bit of trouble because you have this initial cluster of enemies here, and when you move forward, another group moves up as well and meets you on the stairs, and there are enemies up above who can shoot down on you if you're not careful, and you'll notice them because of their laser sights, which makes them a little bit easier to find. Oh, the smart grenades are wonderful. They're a great new addition. Just, you know an enemy is out there and you want to remain behind cover, not take the chance of getting hit. Just look up, throw your grenade, it'll hover, lock on, and blow them to shit. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's bad word number 1 of the day. But the key thing with this room, especially on Veteran, is take it slow. You're going to run into a lot of enemies, and if you're playing on the higher difficulty levels, you might run past one and you'll be dead before you know it, and that can be very frustrating if you're trying to get through the level within a certain amount of time. I honestly should not have swapped out my primary. I don't know where this guy came from, actually, but that's another thing. Like, always watch your back. Make sure everybody's dead. But as I was saying, I don't know why I switched out my original assault rifle for this weapon. I guess because the hybrid sight was on it and I wanted to test that out. But it came at the cost of me losing almost 300 rounds of ammo, which would have come in very, very much use in the rest of this level. Though throughout the level there are ammo crates that are scattered that can be very useful for you, and just be looking for them, use them, check up on them. And there's even one point towards the very end of the mission where it's very beneficial to stay back by the ammo crate to refill your sensor grenades. But I'm really liking the weapons in Advanced Warfare. They all seem very balanced. They're very original while also keeping some of the more throwback weapons. Like we have the Amelie or the Amelie, I'm not entirely sure how it's pronounced, from Ghosts, returning as a machine gun. And you can also see the influence of modern weapons on some of the guns in this game. Like the KP7, I think it's called. I'm going to be picking one up a lot throughout this game, but it's very, very clearly inspired by the MP5. There's another submachine gun in-game that looks almost exactly like the Vector from previous Call of Duty games. If you've played Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2, you definitely know what the Vector is. And there's some in this game that I was very excited to find out about, like the EM1 and the other directed energy heavy weapon, because this is the first time in Call of Duty that we've actually had directed energy weapons, much less ones that have unlimited ammo. Of course, the unlimited ammo comes at the drawback that the weapon can overheat. That's a given. It's directed energy. It's going to get hot. What I was very, very excited for, though, is the railgun sniper rifle, the MORS, and the railgun pistol, which is the RW1, I believe. And railguns, as a concept, have always fascinated me. And if a railgun is in a game, I just go out of my way to acquire it or use it and just have fun with it, because the first time I ever used a railgun was in GoldenEye Rogue Agent, back on the GameCube. And yeah, GameCube, that was my console back in the day, and now I have PS4. But I remember picking it up, and I was like maybe 10 at the time, and I picked up a weapon, and it was the railgun. And I remember seeing the outlines of enemies pop up all over my screen the instant I picked it up, and So, curious, I aimed at one and pulled the trigger, and I heard a low-pitched whine start to sound when I pulled down the trigger. And after a few seconds, the gun fired, and it was just this loud, explosive report, and the ferric slug that it fired punched through the wall, dropped an enemy, and the outline disappeared. And from that moment on, the railgun in any game is my favorite weapon. If I can use it in a mission, even if it's only for a couple minutes, because mostly railguns have limited ammo in games, but if I can use a railgun, I will. So I was very excited to find out that railguns would be in this game. Oh, there's another weapon that makes a return. The PDW from Ghosts comes back as a machine pistol. And the ARX, the AK, is still a thing as well. Kalashnikov is never going to get old. We've talked about the weapons, but we talked a little bit about the exosuit, but not too much. The exosuit is a very original idea, I guess you could say, for Call of Duty. Here's the first intel. After you clear that lobby and you go up the stairs, turn right and walk towards it into that bar. You'll notice it sitting on the table there. But the exosuit is very original as a concept in a video game, Call of Duty especially, because you just don't see very many video games utilize it. Halo is about the only one that utilizes the exosuit mechanic for the Spartans. But the idea of wearing an outer, an outer piece of gear that substantially increases your speed, your stamina, your strength, all of that is something that has honestly been an objective of the military for years now, and they've built prototypes, they've worked on them, but the issue now is they're too large and too bulky for a soldier to wear comfortably for extended periods of time, and that such a large exosuit requires hookup to a generator. So they can't move very far, they're bulky, they're uncomfortable, and they require external sources of power. Whereas the exosuits in this game, powered by small battery packs on the back of the wearer, and they don't require any external hookup to a power source, and they seem very lightweight, very comfortable, almost like an extension of the soldier's body, which honestly is exactly what you would want. You would want it to feel as if you're not wearing the exosuit, that you're as much a part of it as it is a part of you. And this was stupid on my part. I should not have run forward. I knew enemies were over there, but I just rushed in, and you're going to be seeing a lot of that in the campaign that I'm going to be playing. And I am very sorry that I keep saying and have pauses here and there, but sometimes I just need to think about, what I'm going to say next, or what I was trying to say. I do fumble over my words sometimes, but everybody does. As I said, I'm going to do these all in one take, so if it bothers you, I understand that. I do get that, and it's probably going to bother a lot of people. I might not get as many subscribers as quickly as I want. I might not get any subscribers, but I'm doing this mainly for me. I like playing video games. It's a lot of fun for me. It's just been a thing that I've done for years and years, just to escape reality and to just immerse myself in something else, put myself in someone else's shoes, go on adventures and all that. And, I've really wanted to do a YouTube channel for a while now, and while I would very much like to get subscribers and make money from a YouTube channel. I also just want to have fun. I just want to upload videos. I want to play games that I want to play, and if people really like that, they like my commentary and everything, and they subscribe, then, you know, that's great. But I'm not doing it for money or for fame or any of that. I'm just, you know, a kid from Oklahoma who wants to be on YouTube, wants to have fun, and just have something to pass the time. So that's what this is all about. And that last life you saw, I got stupid and ran out there with my bulldog and tried to mow everyone down, which on veteran you never, ever, ever do. I don't know why, I just got super excited there and really wanted to test out the bulldog and go on a little bit of a rampage with my shotgun. And you know, I really should have thought with that one through, but hindsight's 2020, isn't it? I imagine I have bored some of you by now. I've caused you to lose interest in the video, but you know, I'm gonna talk through the whole thing, and I'm just gonna have fun with it. And it's a long video. It is a very long video. This thing runs for 43 minutes, which is a bit excessive, especially for a first video that I'm uploading. But hey, here we meet the PMCs for the first time in the game, and they also have exosuits, and apparently, due to dialogue that's going to come up, they have access to the best gear in the game. And, well, not in the game, but best gear available in the world, rather, to soldiers. They have their pick, and they can choose what they want before they ship out on their missions and all of that. And as we learned from the dialogue just then, I'm not entirely sure if the audio balance is going to be well enough to where my audio will completely drown out the in-game audio, or vice versa, or where they're constantly battling each other. I'm not that great at editing just yet, but you know, that'll come in time. But anyway, we learned from the dialogue back there that the PMCs we ran into are part of Atlas, which is our buddy Will's father's company, or corporation, if you will. And I was actually surprised to find out about that, because the odds of, you know, your best friend being the son of a private military contractor are, you know, theoretically very small. But seeing as how this is a video game and we have, well, not we, Sledgehammer has all the power to direct it in any way they want and write the story however they want, not very surprising at all. Anyway, the target enhancer on this gun is actually a very, very good attachment. It works just like the target finder in Ghosts and Black Ops 2, but it's very, very useful in this game, because if you are out of threat detector grenades, you can still use it to find enemies that are hiding in rooms and all of that, and it's very beneficial so you don't get ambushed. You make sure rooms are clear, so it's your best friend in Veteran. If you find a weapon with the target locator, or target enhancer, rather, sorry, on it, pick it up, because it's gonna help you out a lot. And this asshole up in the window just kept taking pot shots at me, ducking back. Kept taking pot shots, ducking back. And I knew in later lives to look over there and make sure that I killed him, but it doesn't always work out that way. So, like I said, I'm going to die. I'm not the greatest gamer. I am average. I play decently, but I mean, I'm not pro. I'm not MLG. I'm not terrible, but don't expect any great gameplay from me. I might do very well in a multiplayer match here and there, but overall, I'm an okay gamer. My friend Domentora, who again I will link in the description, is a much, much better gamer than me. I admit that. And you know, he has just done some amazing things in Call of Duty over the years. I remember back in the final days of Black Ops 2, before Ghosts came out, he managed to get, and I can't even make this up, this was just stupid, I think he has a video of it somewhere, or maybe, he might not, but he got 4 swarms and 3 dogs in a single match of Capture the Flag, I think. It was either Capture the Flag or Domination, I can't remember. He probably remembers much better than I do, but getting 4 swarms and 3 dogs is just something I could never, ever even possibly dream of. I mean, in Black Ops 2, getting a, what was it, Lodestar or a Stealth Chopper was a big thing for me, because normally I play rather aggressive, and so, you know, I run the lower kill streaks, and I tend to die a lot more, but I do tend to get my UAV, my care package, and all of that before I die, so it never really bothered me. But once I started running the higher kill streaks and playing a little more conservatively, I got better. I started earning those kill streaks. Now, granted, playing conservatively, not camping, mind you, conservatively, hanging back, watching an objective, or locking down an area for a couple kills and moving on, managed to get me higher kill streaks. I saw better returns in my KD. I just did much better in games. I didn't rage quite as much, and that's another thing. Once I do live commentary, you find people on YouTube and Facebook or wherever you come to see these videos on are going to be subject to the wonderful, wonderful thing that is my rage. I rage very, very hard sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes I do rage very hard. A prime example is when I play Dark Souls. I have to be masochistic, because Dark Souls is one of my favorite series ever. And it's very, very brutal. It does not hold your hand. It bends you over, and you take it. It doesn't hold back. It does not have an easy mode. You go into the game knowing you are going to die. That is inevitable. And you're going to die over and over and over. There's not a thing that you can do about it, because this is Dark Souls. But despite all that, it's one of my favorite game series, and I enjoy playing it. I haven't played it in a while, I admit to that. I've been playing Destiny and, well, actually, no, that's pretty much it. I've been playing Destiny and Shadow of Mordor, both of which are great games, and I'm hoping to do some Let's Plays over as well, but that's gonna be in the future after I finish the campaign for Advanced Warfare. And so, anyway, with Dark Souls, I rage. I have actually lost 2 controllers to that game. I'm not proud of that, really not, but I've lost 2 controllers to that game. Spent countless hours of running back to my corpse, trying to get my souls back, and then getting killed, losing. I believe the most I ever lost was 170,000 souls. And I wasn't even mad about it. I mean, I was upset, but I couldn't be mad at the game. I could only be mad at myself, because in Dark Souls, the very first rule is spend your souls. Do not hold on to them, because if you hold on to them, you will die, you will lose them. End of story. Once you have enough to level up or upgrade your gear, do it. There is no point at all in getting more souls than you need to complete a certain objective, whether that's leveling up, whether that's upgrading gear. It's a crapshoot. It's a disaster waiting to happen, and it's not worth it in the end. I know some players are probably thinking, it's not that bad, you know, you can hold on to your souls if you play cautiously and practically, but eventually you're gonna die. And I have spent the last like 5 minutes talking about Dark Souls on a Call of Duty video, so time to move back to the game here. This is, of course, I don't know what I was trying to go for here. Anyway, you saw me power slide back over to that ammo crate, which is something that returned from Ghosts, being able to combat slide, which, I don't know, I actually kind of prefer the dolphin dive from the Black Ops series. The power slide is a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. It gets you to cover very well, very efficiently, and you stay crouched, but the dolphin dive is a lot of fun. A lot of people enjoyed it very much, especially White Boy 7th Street, who, again, I'm going to leave a link to his channel in my description here. And, I don't know, I feel like it has more flair to it. What you're going to see me do here is run around and try to find a staircase for the intel location here, because I didn't find them myself. I'm using an article online to find all the intel locations, and put them in my videos to show you guys who don't want to hunt down an article and would just rather watch a game. And so I knew I was looking for a staircase, so I ran back to where I was, because it told me to look for the MG, and here I pause it to make sure that I'm going in the right direction. Lo and behold, here's the staircase. You don't actually need to go down to street level. This is the room that you go in if you come through the rooftops, and your intel's going to be sitting right there. I said rooftops, I don't know why, but the bar that I was in earlier, that I accessed from the ground floor, and I went up the stairs to take out the few soldiers who were up there. If you just keep going that way, there's going to be a stairway on your right, and just go up there and there's the intel. I love how the soldiers in-game actually use their boost jump to travel short distances that don't really require it, because that's totally what I would do. I would use it for the most trivial jumps that don't even need it, but I use it because I can. There I was kind of slowing down and crawling because I was looking to see where the next intel location is going to be, so it's actually what I was doing right there too as well. So anyway, here we are coming up to the final part of the mission, but it's still got 9 minutes to go, because I did die a couple times. But there is, on the bridge below, there's going to be an ammo crate that you are going to want to stay by, because it will provide you with an unlimited supply of threat detection grenades, of smart grenades, ammo for your primary weapons, and having an unlimited supply of threat detection grenades helps you to know if there are any enemies still remaining, and if there are, and you don't want to risk dying by popping out of cover, you can throw out a smart grenade to go take him out like I did there. Just make sure to check with a threat detector grenade every now and again to see if there are any enemies left. If there aren't, you can move up safely until Will stops, because then another squad of enemies will show up and you can rinse and repeat, throw out a threat detector, see where they are, toss out a couple smart grenades, and drop the rest with your gun. If you feel like you're running low on ammo or anything after any of the firefights on this bridge, run back, grab some from the ammo crate that I'm right behind over here. The best thing, though, that I can say about playing on veteran mode, use cover. Can't stress it enough. I play games on veteran or the equivalent all the time, and for whatever reason, even though I know I should remain behind cover and wait until everything is dead, I don't often practice what I preach. I move up early. Right here, this was very stupid, with me just jumping over everything and sprinting back for the ammo crate. I'm very surprised I didn't die here, but there goes my threat detector, because I wasn't sure how many there were. Saw that there was a bunch lined up over here, and shooting fish in a barrel. And toss out another one just to be sure, because I continued to hear shooting. Nothing going on, and I was thinking to myself that they might be proximity based, because I threw another over there just to be sure, and that was a waste of it, but whatever. Coming up here, you're definitely going to want to pick up that grenade launcher, and there's a bunch of other weapons scattered around on the bodies of the other soldiers that you can pick up. That LMG is alright, but I wouldn't exactly recommend it. You can take it if you want, but not the best. Anyway, here, the grenade launcher, it launches smart grenades, which is very useful, because you don't have to get into the thick of things. You can hang out up here on the banks and let the grenades take care of the rest of the enemies with no issues. But if that's not how you like to play, if you like to get into the thick of things, you can always go back down here too. Just remember to use your threat sensor grenades so that you can tell where any enemies are, how many are remaining, and plan accordingly. But yeah, if you really don't want to die, if you want to hang back and try to thin out the enemy's ranks as much as you can before you absolutely have to go down there, stay behind and up on that street before jumping into the culvert with Will, so you can provide cover from up there, take out any soldiers that remain, and make sure that you are not completely outgunned when you go back down. The drones that we saw just a few seconds ago, and as you're going to see here in a few more seconds after I take out the soldiers down in the culvert, the drones appear to be completely invulnerable until you drop down into the culvert. You'll get hit markers on them, but they seem to take no damage, as we're about to see here, because I keep getting hit marker after hit marker and landing enough shots that should destroy it, but nothing happens. So it's safe to assume that until you drop down into the culvert with Will, those drones are completely indestructible. And when you drop down, make sure to get behind one of these barricades, even if you're not on veteran. It can help you to, plan out your next move. It can serve as a place to get a breather if you were injured at all by jumping down there or got shot at. And you can throw down a threat detector grenade to see what's left and where it's at, so you can, again, plan from there. These drones, they soak up a fair amount of damage, so if you've got any remaining shots in your grenade launcher, I very much recommend using them to take them out while you're safe. You can't be shot at from any enemies on the far side. The drones can't hit you. You'll knock them out. The final piece of intel is under this waterfall. You go through it. There's a door right there on the table. And I'm going to show all the pieces of intel in the campaign videos because I like to pick up all the intel in my first playthrough of the game, which is always on veteran. Don't ask me why. That really makes it harder on me as a player, but I don't know. I like a challenge. And this is the mission. This is the final cutscene here, so I'm going to shut up until it's over. And I'm glad you were here.
Don't worry about that time. One more time. Pull! Lift it off. You gotta go now. Mitchell! We're out of time. You gotta jump now! It's okay. See you on the other side. Mitchell! Mitchell! Hey! Dr. Two is down. I need immediate medevac. Stay with me. You're gonna be alright. We're gonna get you home.
Alright, so as we can see, we just lost our best friend Will and our arm. Luckily we're a righty and that was our left arm. I'm sorry, that was very morbid. Anyway, that was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Induction, and I showed you where all the intel locations are, and this, I feel like this went very good for a first video. Anyway, this is MrDrProfGamer signing off. Until next time. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.